I think that one of the most clear times when I felt like loneliness or longing for community was when my family moved overseas. First we moved to Costa Rica for language training, and so I really felt it there because I was missing my friends from the States, especially because I was homeschooled and stayed at the same church for basically the whole time I was growing up, so I really just had 2 close friends and that was it. And so leaving them was it felt like I was losing crutches that I had relied on my whole life. There weren't a lot of people my age that I could communicate with clearly, because even though I could speak a little bit of Spanish, I couldn't really make myself fully understood, and I couldn't fully understand everything that they were saying to me.
I remember as a kid being told to go away because no one wanted me around, and that kind of left some emotional scarring, but then and left me desiring to find people who actually wanted to be around me. And so, being in junior high, high school, you look for that. You try and find people who can give that to you, that community.
I grew up as a missionary kid, so there were times when I was the only English speaker, or the only person who spoke English as their first language. I went through isolation. In 5th grade, I went to public school for the 2nd semester. There were a lot of times where I was like, I don't know what to do, or I was super awkward, and I think I just wished for a friend. When I was little, I fantasized the idea of a best friend.
I was at a church summer camp, and I just had suddenly felt really disconnected from God, really disconnected from other people at the camp, and it was really something that I had never felt before. And then I went to go talk to one of my pastors about it, just because I was really confused and just really searching for God in that moment. And I just felt really disconnected, and I anything I did, I just didn't feel that my heart was in it. I would go hang out with my friends, but I just didn't feel like anyone was there. And it was the same way with God. I was just really calling out to him, being like, God, where are you? And in fact, I was getting a little angry with him because he wasn't showing himself to me. And so it was a really big, frustrating time. And I definitely felt powerless in that moment.
So my senior year of high school, I was an intern at my church, and I got really, really close with both of our worship leaders, and I particularly got really close with the female worship leader, and then sadly it ended really poorly. Her and the other worship leader had to both resign because of an emotional affair that they were having, and that was a really dark time for me. The leaders in the church who taught me so much about who Christ was and who I was to Christ screwed up, and quite honestly, there was a lot of ways that my church didn't really handle my emotions very well. The people I wanted to talk to about the issue, I couldn't talk to. I had some really wonderful friends who really encouraged me to pursue Christ. But honestly, that was my freshman year a really large source of pain for me, because I felt like the church had let me down and I didn't know who to turn to. I didn't have enough of a foundation of who God was and who I was to God that I could really stand firm in that my freshman year.
I grew up as a missionary kid in the Democratic Republic of Congo. There were very few missionaries there because of civil unrest. When I was 13, all the other missionary kids my age left in one big fell swoop. So I was alone with 2 other girls, and both of them went into severe depression. And then I went to the American school in my city, and I was the only Christian in my class. I was bullied, and no one really liked me. So I grew up with a close sense of community with people who I felt like we're family. And they all left at once. And then those who stayed became toxic and hard to deal with. And then they left too. So until I came to Moody, it was pretty lonely.